It was meant to be, I put my life on it. I ain't come this far just to die from it. You ain't on my way, nigga. Get out my way, on the way, I'ma stop till I'm.
Yo, it's my boy Serion coming out with his new album called Nebula. Not everybody you love applies, okay? Got your girl Tiffany J on the first track. Check him out.
Get out my way, on the way, I'ma stop till I'm.
Did you know I'm gonna come with it? Come with the 10 minutes. I want you stare into these pretty brown eyes. Hey guys, this is Tiffany J coming to you live. 10 minutes with yours truly. I hope you like the show. Check it out. What's up, everybody? I'm back. So, I want to talk about a commitment that I want to make for myself. I want to read more. I'm currently actively reading 2. I am currently have been reading 4. The other 2 I kind of just like sat to the side, reading books basically. So the 2 books that I'm definitely actively reading are Male vs. Man by DeAndre Whitfield, and then Finn, A Story of Love and Hope by Gamal C. Williams. So the Male vs. Man is like a help book. It's more so geared towards men. It's talking about how to honor women, teach children, and elevate men to change the world. Even though it's geared towards men, I think women also need to read it to understand and know what men are up against and know how to correctly audit men. So when you meet a guy, a boy, child, or whoever the case is, you know, you can correctly audit them. And whether it's call them out for not saying BS or anything like that, but, you know, to help protect yourself, protect others, and to also save somebody, or just bring to light what needs to be discussed. Finn is a very interesting story. Right now I'm on chapter 2. I love the way the author Gamal is writing this story. He kind of opens up with an initial, you know, it's a farewell. It's the last day of, I don't know if it's the last day of school, but it's the last day that this particular main character, Finn, will be at this location when he's in elementary school and he's going to be moving. And then chapter 1 goes into when I think he's out of college, I believe, because he backflashes into when he was in college, when he met the love of his life. And then it goes back into the present when he's in college. And then this incident happens, not in college, but after college when they're working. And then, unless I read it wrong, maybe he's still in school, but they're working, and then an incident happens. It's like, you know, when you watch the first 5 minutes of the movie, an action movie, and then you're like, oh my gosh. And then it like stops and cuts to another scene. So that's kind of what happens in chapter 1. And then chapter 2 kind of gives you a break. And then it goes into more backstory of the main character. So I'm interested in what that particular story is going to be about. And I love the way that the writer is, you know, kind of like taking you through this journey. So as I read this, I'm also finding more joy, more interest in my own projects. For right now, I just want to make a commitment to like reading and exploring other things, and then I'll gather ideas for myself. Another thing that I'm also getting into is I think I'm on episode like 500 or something like that, or at least 498 of One Piece, which is an anime show. And so I have until probably like the end of the month or until end of February to get to like episode 900 where everybody else is at. And that, I would say, I mean, there's a lot of movies and books that have been written, and I'm not shading anybody or anything, but for right now, by far, that is one of the best things that I've ever, you know, seen and experienced as far as the character development. Visually, it's amazing. If you haven't seen One Piece, if you don't know about One Piece, you can go on Funimation, the Funimation app, and it will take you all the way, I believe, to episode 600. It will do it for you in English. And then after that, I think they're still releasing different episodes as they come out on English, as they get the rights to them. But you can also watch them in Japanese all the way up until like 900. Okay, so why did I start off with the books? So I'm finding a new joy. It's the first day of the year. I've been wanting to read, and I'm like, all right, so I'm going to read. So I was like, oh, there's 22 chapters in this Finn story. And so I was like, if I read one chapter a day, by the end of the month, I will have read the book. And I was like, well, the book is kind of getting pretty good. Let me go ahead and read the second chapter. And then, so basically today I've read, including the prologue, the 2 chapters in the Finn story, and then the Male versus Man. I've read 4 chapters today, which is the most that I've ever done. I feel like, when you were in school, when you had to do the 30-minute, sorry, that was my text message. Remember when you were in school and you had to do the 30-minute reading for 30 minutes? I know I've read at least for like an hour and a half now, but it was very fulfilling, very satisfying. And usually I sit and I go down the rabbit hole of looking at YouTube videos or finding something to watch on Disney Plus or Netflix or Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case. And I was like, let me do something different tonight. So if I can do that every night, or first thing in the morning, if I can start my day earlier and say, you know what, let me read this story and let me create it in my mind. I think that's really good. And for me, I'm the type of reader, I actually read out loud. What it does is, number one, it helps me stay awake. So, and if I were in a public place, I would probably have to voice or like kind of read out or like whisper the words to myself just to help me stay focused. It's kind of like my equivalent of taking my finger and putting it under each word, like, yeah, doing that. So I have to read out loud. And what I find that does for me, which I really enjoy, that I've seen over the last month and a half, is it's helped me with my speech. It gives me the words to say, like, even though, because I don't know if you know, but like they always say, like when you read, it'll make you better. It'll make you smarter. Reading is very, very fundamental, not only with the knowledge that you gain, but also with reading words and being able to articulate and think on your feet and see what's in front of you and critically think and what's the word? Like, understand what you're reading. That's big and that's major. And so what I find is in my conversations, in my speech, they have become elevated just from simply reading every single day. So thus my passion for reading grows all the more because I find the benefits of it in my, like actualized in my everyday life. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake in your speech. I used to be so afraid to speak out loud. One, because when we moved down south when I was 8 years old, the first thing that I noticed was my accent was different from everybody else's accent. This one kid one day, he was like, we were in school, 3rd grade, and he was like, hey, yo, like, go close the door. I can't even say it right. He was like, go close the door. And I was like, the what? He was like, the dough. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. He was like, go close the door. And I was like, you didn't have to say it like that. Like, that's kind of insulting. So right then and there, I felt like I was different. I was an alien. I was an outsider. And I knew it was because of my speech and how I spoke. So I didn't speak much, and I wrote a lot because I couldn't find the words. Now, of course, years have passed from being 8 years old. I've conquered a lot of the fears that I've had as far as like stage fright, performance anxiety, because I sing and dance and things like that. All of those things are still very prevalent and present in my life, but I know how to cope. I know how to breathe and kind of get myself through the process to be able to perform. So what you guys see on social media, it's taken years of practice and endurance to get to that point. So what I'm saying is, I think I'm finding a newfound love for reading, and like never before. And one of my goals for this year, not only to continue, with my music and podcasts and all this other stuff, but I want to be consistent at the things that make me better, and incorporate them into my life. And this is one of them. So not taking the 22 chapters in this one book and saying I'm going to read one chapter every day and then only read one book in 1 month. No, like, I believe I can do more. And I hope that by the end of the year, I don't know, maybe I can read 50 books. You know what I'm saying? It's just, the world is endless. And just imagine the places that you'll go, Dr. Seuss, just from reading a book. You know what I mean? I can go places watching movies too, but reading a book, there's so much that you can describe and say and do and think and be and become, and your imagination is endless versus what they tell you in the movie because of the budget that they have, right? Right. So, reading is cool, and I'm excited to get back into it. All right, so the two books that I'm reading, again, if you forgot, Male vs. Man by Dontre Whitfield. I've been watching him on the Black Love series on YouTube, and I saw him recently in the movie 35 and Ticking. And then the other book is Finn, A Story of Love and Hope by Kamal C. Williams. So you guys check it out. This is Tiffany J. I'm signing off. I have some great things coming in store. I'm so excited about them. I have a new song that's going to be coming out soon. It's going to be mixed on Sunday, which is in 2 days from now. And then it's going to be ... I'll tell you later. Original music score, Cold Case, Noxious 2, coming soon. It's Your Love.
I realized I'm an 80s baby. I realized that I'm full of soul. Cross my mind, it's a roller coaster. Living in some other time, you know.
Featuring Tiffany J.
Are you looking for me?
That was another edition of 10 Minutes with Tiffany J. I hoped you all enjoyed yourselves, because I know I did. You can find more episodes on my website, www.tjayetaylor.com, and go to podcasts. But don't stop there. Hop on over to the music tab and rock out to your favorite Tiffany J records, starting with my latest single, Work For It. Available for streaming and downloads on all major platforms, with a bomb video showcase on YouTube featuring the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina.